The African Biomineral Balance, which came to complement the African genetical structure, not only does it complement the African genetical structure, but it complements every gene on the planet, because it is the only diet that has been put together without the presence of lactic, carbonic, or uric acid. These acids are responsible for the amount of deterioration that occurs in the body. These three acids causes what is known as uncontrolled mitosis. So when we ingest foods that contain these acids, naturally, we are running into trouble. This is why we had to create the African Biomineral Balance. The African Biomineral Balance is known as natural vegetation cell food. The African Biomineral Balance was constructed using substance that came from the environment, the same environment that the black man was placed in by creator and creation, which is the tropics, the rainforest. Naturally, the substance would necessarily have to come from the same environment from whence he came. An incomplete molecular structure is something that was created through hybriding. Hybriding means that you're going to create something that was not created by Mother Nature, and that you want to fit that within this cosmic procession. No. If it was not created by Mother Nature, then this substance should not be included in this whole procession, because it would cause an imbalance. And as we look closely at hybrid foods, we find that everything that is hybrid needs a binder, and the binder is always a chemical. So therefore, we find something that would never assimilate with you. And these other things that we recommend, such as the broccoli and the lettuce or spinach, these things are merely to satisfy those 400 years of conditioning, because we are people that like to eat now. But we are faced now with a catch-22, as we call it, that if we want to eat the food that we like, we're going to get sick. And if we want to eat the food that we should eat, we're going to be angry. So there is a process now of weaning from that particular diet that hurts the body. So we move you gradually away to the state of not eating. And it's not difficult. Don't even be surprised that such statement is made. It is possible. But before then, we have to gradually remove you. But first, we remove you from all of the meats because of the high cholesterol. And we all know that. The American Medical Association is telling us about the things that are harmful to our health, and that there are so many diet-related diseases that has been cropping up over a period of time. So we allow you to eat substance on the market that would not harm you as much as others. One that the African American should not consider at any time is carrots, because it too contains a high level of starch. And because our genetical structure is so high in carbon, we are very sensitive people. So whatever there is that is inconsistent with us, it would have an adverse effect on us immediately. And substance like starch has played not too much of a very well gift, or it didn't play a good role in our daily life.
We're brothers and sisters. If the food that God made for us was not brought with us when we were brought on those ships from Africa 500 years ago, what are we eating? What are we ingesting? And whatever we are ingesting, did our archaeologists, paleontologists, historians, or Egyptologists, did they take time out to ask about the food that would maintain my hormones, my central nervous system in perfect working condition? No, they didn't ask these questions. This was never even thought of. They went on to tell us about Plato, the philosophers, Plato, Aristotle, Diogenes, as if though that matters. The archaeologists were telling us about the various fossils that was found in Egypt 10 million years ago. The others, the historian, they talk about what took place in Africa so many hundreds of thousands of years ago. But never did one said that he found, or that they found, a food that is consistent with our cellular structure. And that is of most importance.
There is no difference. There's absolutely no difference. And this was shown to me in St. Croix, where the USHA Research Institute opened its doors for the first time under the name of the FaQ at 429 King Street in Frederickstad, St. Croix. Three people came to see me. One had diabetes and blind and delirium tremens, which was Miss Margaret Allen. And then we had another gentleman by the name of Florence Archias with gout. And then we had another lady with arthritis, Miss Sylvester. And they noticed that they had the same compounds in front of them. Florence Archias said to me, "I think you're making an obvious mistake." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I didn't come with the diseases that all these other people have. One is blind and diabetic and delirium tremens. I do not have that, but I have the same bottles they have." Sure. I have to cleanse the body. Whether you have AIDS, blindness, diabetes, or whatever disease, the cells are now obstructed with mucus. Like in the case of AIDS, the only thing I have to do is to give you an increased dosage of lympholine that is going to revitalize the lymphatic system. Sure, it is the same treatment. There's the cleansing, an intracellular cleansing coupled by the African Biomineral Balance. This is for every pathology or irritation presented. The herbs assimilate because they contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. This is the vehicle that would allow any substance to assimilate within your biological structure. The presence of carbon, that only comes from the plants. It does not come from some oxide or inorganic substance. The difference with the USHA compounds and those other foods is that the USHA diet, the USHA compound does not allow the body to accumulate cholesterol, triglycerides, calcium carbonate in the body, which obstruct and causes all of these ailments that we call disease today. The difference is they have cholesterol and grease, and many of them are hybrid. With the USHA diet, no. We have a group of compounds that is free of all carcinogens, plus the cholesterol. No, I could not consider colonics because it is going against the grain. First of all, you are pushing water against the sewer line, water that will contaminate the colon. You will put bacteria in the colon that was never there before. Life form. They're not bacteria, but they're life form that was never in your body because you have a protective measure, the mucous membrane. Then you have the hydrochloric acid in the stomach that protects you against any invasion as far as your intestinal tract. But now you're bypassing those safety mechanisms, going against the grain and pushing water at 15 pounds per square inch pressure, thinking that this is going to remove disease. No, you have just caused other diseases by admitting into the body of someone those aerobic bacteria. And now they're going to find seed in there because the water is not sterilized. No, I could not consider this thing we call colonics. It's impossible. Allowing the body to release all of what it has accumulated over the years, such as someone that I know someone that eat pork all their life. Now I saw him just recently, Gustavo, and he's fat. So he had to fast. So he's fasting and taking the compounds. You begin, the cells regenerate. The cells heal themselves by allowing oxygen. See, what you do is to fast to allow oxygen to enter those various organs to reach them via your arteries with the blood. The nasal passage has to be clear because oxygen is the real food. It's the fuel of the body. Deprived of that for 2 minutes, you would not live to tell the story. A holistic center in Central America in the middle of the rainforest. And the reason for that is that when someone is suffering from these things we call disease, it is best to have them in a controlled environment where they would receive only the things that the body needs and that they would be distracted. They would not be distracted from the noise and the invasion. Because when you start eating foods that you're accustomed to, once you smell them, it's going to trigger off a mechanism in the brain. Then a hormone is going to begin to demand of you that you ingest these things and eat them. But no, in the forest, you will get the benefit of not smelling those things and also getting the herbs fresh to you, very fresh to you. Like we're going to open a place in Sambo Creek, in the beautiful lush forest, which you'll be getting pure oxygen. Then you have on the property a waterfall that is delivering water straight from Mother Nature to your cells that has no chemicals. That is necessary.
And what about Jesus? Why is the daughter of Jerusalem sick? Is there no balm in Gilead? Even Jesus knew about herbs. So when did it change? Claudio Galeno, the Italian, 17 and 29. He did miracles with plants in Italy. That's right. He's better known as Paracelsus. We want to make sure that when we enter the field of nutrition or of addressing disease, you don't want to go into that arena believing. Because I could believe that I'm giving you mullein, but it is foxglove, and I'm going to poison you because they look alike. I have to know. Tofu, my brothers and sisters, is starch. Starch is not a food. Starch is known in the scientific world as carbonic acid. It's not a food. It creates another level on a reaction that produces sulfides in the body. Sulfides does one thing and one thing alone: rob you of your oxygen. And this is why many of our patients that is cancerous of the breast or of the reproductive organ are Muslims or Hebrew Israelite. Why? Because the Hebrew Israelite is giving our sisters this tofu, which is robbing them of their iron and weakening their system. Where we are not going to blame our brothers in the religion of the Hebrew Israelite for doing that. No. Today is not about blaming anyone. It's about us realizing that that which we know as constant is on top of us today. They call it change. Change is the only thing that is constant. And as that change takes place, We move and we change with it. Yeah, brothers and sisters, change has arrived, but we shouldn't resist it, because if we resist it, imagine our children are going to suffer. I have a little boy, he's only a year old, David. I got to talk to his mother constantly about what she's going to put in my baby's mouth beside her breast. Taiwa, well, I had to raise my little girl with sea moss and hemp milk. You understand? And then she had her spelt bread. But she's 4 years of age now, and she's telling me what I need to do. Now imagine that. But it all comes with help. So yes, philosophy does not fit in light vernacular. It is cosmic. It's got to be organic. It's got to be native. It is electrical. Africa, the Aztecs, the Olmecs, the Toltecs, the Incas, the American Indian, they all makes up the organic family. But there is something that we all had in common, the organic family. We didn't have a toilet because our fecal matter didn't stench, because we didn't eat anything for that to occur. We were clean. We ate only that which was alkaline. So even our fecal matter went back into the soil. Recyclable. Well, Dr. David Iyensue is looking for the cure of leukemia by isolating the active ingredient in the rosy periwinkle. But the rosy periwinkle is a hybrid plant. It's an acid-based plant. It was cross-pollinated in Madagascar by the French. Because it was cross-pollinated and it isn't a product of nature, the base is acid. That's the secret. No big secret. If nature didn't make it, don't take it. If nature didn't make it, don't take it. Don't take it if nature didn't make it. This I heard from the mouth of some sisters in Philadelphia when I gave a speech. And they were right. You see, nature doesn't make anything with starch. And the rosy periwinkle has starch. No healing. So enough for the research of Dr. David Iyensue. He's a beautiful brother. He's from Ghana. He's a member of the Smithsonian Institution. But we have to help Dr. David Iyensue to understand certain things. There is such thing as the organic and the inorganic, the alive and the dead. Protein has no place in the human body because it is non-electrical. We are electrical. Electric body, electric food. That is chemical affinity. That is digestion. That is assimilation.
Please subscribe to our monthly subscription page, where you will have exclusive access to never seen before recipe videos, past and present workshops, podcasts, and much more. Content will be uploaded to the members only page every 2 weeks, accessible only to those who have subscribed to the People's Package. Subscribe and become a member today at eat2live.not2die.com. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, ETLNTD. Love.